Hi, Don Planter here again on the question of the Bitcoin bubble. But I think before anybody can actually even address that issue, there needs to be real clarity on what a bubble is and how it would be compared, or could even possibly be compared, to the dot-com bubble that is the parallel that everyone seems to be drawing in the media. A bubble occurs generally when people finally discover that there's actually no underlying value in what they invested in, other than, sort of a simple hope about the adoption of that particular product in the future into the mainstream market. Now, on that point, Bitcoin is actually in that same position because we are all hoping to find its mainstream adoption point in whatever form in the future. But in the dot-com era, there were also many, in some cases hundreds of players in that exact same space going after the same dream and the same potential mainstream adoption by the marketplace. Bitcoin has absolutely no competition, so to speak. It's unique in its space. So that issue goes away. Also, in the dot-com era, most companies were set up actually without a really clear purpose or objective in terms of what they really try to achieve and in the end deliver to the public and to the medium, into the marketplace. So there was no promise of delivery, no specific raison d'etre for that. Now, Bitcoin was initially created as a peer-to-peer system, and was thought of as a borderless, decentralized system, and one that gave millions of people access to an exchange mechanism that they had no access to. So there's very, very clear reason for Bitcoin's existence. So the only question that remains at this point is the type of adoption going forward. So again, the bubble theory doesn't apply here. And we do know without a shadow of a doubt that the Bitcoin phenomenon is underpinned by realities, a real market, and a real solution to a real pain to an awful lot of people who are using it today. You and I and many others are talking about Bitcoin from an investment perspective and its valuation and what's going to happen to it. So fundamentally, if you think of it from an investment and evaluation perspective, sort of a macro level view, then keep in mind that this, number one, Bitcoin has a very specific purpose right from the outset. Number two, it does not really have any competitors. Number three, it is actually being used and has already been adopted by hundreds of thousands of people. And it exists. It is structurally complete and structurally functioning, despite all the infighting and all the other issues that I cover in the other videos. So the term bubble does not really apply to Bitcoin from my perspective. And when we're talking about bubble in terms of blockchain, there will be companies invariably that will be outpaced through technology when they implement blockchain-based products. But Bitcoin is at a level of maturity technologically that it actually does function at a specific level to meet a specific need. So I don't think there will be a bubble that affects and wipes out Bitcoin, and I don't believe that the notion of a bubble is really applicable when we are comparing it to the dot-coms. Now, blockchain companies that build and are emerging and creating blockchain-based solutions, yes, there will be a weeding out, but we should not be confusing Bitcoin with blockchain-based technology companies. So that's about it. See you in the next time.